You what?
rips Marcus Anderson a new butthole every night. Oh, we're live.
Hello, beautiful people. We're live.
Hi, friends. That started out a little spicy.
As always. How are you, Molly? How are you? So nice to see you.
How are
How are
you
you,
doing?
sweetie?
I should be asking, how are you doing? You're looking better
Oh,
day by
I'm
day.
looking better. Well, yeah, but if you knew the things that I've gone, I had to do this past week. I'm gonna talk to you later about it. You would freak the f out. It's unbelievable the things that I'm going through right now. It's like a James Bond movie, Latin
Mhm.
American
So I just
I
wanted
mean, I
to.
have to laugh. I have to laugh because it's just unbelievable. I was talking to Ron and Pidina. Pidina has helped me a lot because it's. I just can't believe it. It's insane. But yeah, I'll tell you all about it. I can't talk about it from here, but yes, yes. And how are you doing? Your little man started school or something like that?
Girl, he like knock wood. Hold on a second. I need to hold on. You hear that? Okay.
Yes.
I don't like I am very lucky that my child is not one of those children that when you drop them off at school, they make a scene, they cry, they shout, they scream. Like I understand some children are very like my little one is attached, but when he goes to school, it's like, "Okay, bye mommy. I'm going to have fun. I see you later." Like he's excited to go in and it just makes me so much happier. I feel like the days leading up to it, because I spent more time with him and stuff like preparing him, I feel like it does help tremendously. I feel like so, but he was excited. He's happy. He
Hmm.
loves going to kindergarten. I mean, just I don't know what it is. I almost started crying and I'm going to start crying now if I keep talking about it. I just can't believe he's already in kindergarten. And it's just crazy because I'm having all these emotions and everything as a parent who's sending my little one to school, right? And I just compare it to Harry and Meghan not being around for Archie's first week of kindergarten, right?
I remember when I took Hendrik. Yeah, when I took Hendrik the first time, it was in reception in England, and he wouldn't let go of my hand. He didn't make a fuss or anything, but he was just scared. And so I stayed with him, and then he would peek through the. I sat there. I canceled my meeting, and he would peek through the glass to make sure I was sitting outside. And then after a while, he told me, "Okay, mommy, you can go now." you know, and then
Yeah.
but it was just like after half hour. So I don't understand how Harry and Meghan would choose to leave their kid in such a milestone thing, because that's when your kid remembers Hendrik still remembers the first day of school and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, I take pictures of his first day of preschool. I take photos with him. So, but then he was so excited on his first day of kindergarten and we forgot the picture. So I was like, okay, we'll do it the next day when we go and we'll call it your first day. Like he was just so excited to just go. And I was just so happy for him. I was just so happy. And when he came out, he was like, I want to go. I want to go again. I want to go again. So I'm like, okay, this is good. These are good signs.
Oh
Yeah.
no, and Henrik had a lot of fun too. But yeah, and he was such a good little boy. They had an issue with him because Henrik at 12 p.m., I kid you not, Molly, he would
Mhm.
look for the floor. He didn't care where he was to
To take
sleep.
a nap. Oh, okay.
Oh, 2 hour nap. And the
Yeah.
teachers loved him. I mean, because it's like he would look for the anywhere, and he would just fall asleep.
Hmm. This is
So
it's funny because you know what? My little one, I swear he stopped napping once he hit like 10 months. Once he hit like when he was about 10 months old, and Meghan Markle better not be stealing my stories about my little one here, or I will sue her pancake ass. Okay. I will sue her non existent pancake bottom if she steals my stories. But when my little one, I swear, when he hit 10 months old, there was no more napping. He would be up from like 6 in the morning till like the evening. And I'd be like, oh my God, like constant handful. And it was a lot. Like, he was done with naps. He's just like me, like, no naps. Unless I know if he's not feeling well, then he'll take naps, and that's the only time. Hello to our special guest.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello, Enty. You're
Hi,
you're gonna
Paula.
be sandwiched between two women here.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm sure he doesn't mind a little ski pole
How
here
are
and there.
you, gorgeous?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We're good. We're just having a little chat about our children.
We're doing great. How are and Molly? You know, Molly and I are so happy to have you. You know, it's gonna be a spicy live today because so much to talk about. You know, actually, before you came in, Enty, just to verify, because I heard this, that because the American Riviera orchard thing was rejected, anybody can make bags, T-shirts, and everything, and she can't sue our asses.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. So she can't trademark it. She can still make American Riviera Orchard. And yeah, so some other people could come and they could do it. But who's really going to make the effort to do something like that? I understand why she wants to get it trademarked or whatever. But the thing that I found, is just that any patent lawyer should have known, no, you can't do a geographical thing. I think that they thought they could perhaps get the American Riviera thing because they thought, well, maybe people don't know that the Montecito Santa Barbara coast or whatever is called the American Riviera, so maybe we can slip it past them. But I don't understand the whole not signing any documents or anything, and just like I said, it felt like whoever was doing it was just watching YouTube videos on how to fill out trademark applications.
Meghan was probably doing it because this isn't the first time that they've sent in documents without signatures. What a waste of time! Like, they're wasting
waste of time, waste of money.
But I don't get it. Yeah, but I don't get it because, I register my company in the States, right? And everything was done electronically. We pay $495 to register and you get the license thing. This is in Florida. I don't know how it is in California. And then you put you put a list of stuff that you're gonna export or import into the United States, right? And then they give you a code per item, and then afterwards you have to show that you've sold stuff, or that they approve my company's name and everything. I didn't trademark it. It was just my company's name. But even I did my little research. You get the forms online and everything was done online. I don't understand how she could miss not signing stuff or even attaching the right documentation.
Yeah, I mean, it was just okay. But I mean, would you expect anything, more? I wrote right before we came on. I was writing a blind item that, I haven't revealed, but it's obviously pretty easy to figure out because I call him the ginger-haired one. But this is how crazy these guys are. Is that Prince Harry is going to speak at this Clinton Global Initiative, and he gets an honorarium for going. But he is spending more than the honorarium to hire a speechwriter so he doesn't sound like an idiot. So he's spending more on this former presidential speechwriter than he's getting paid as an honorarium. And that doesn't even include like transportation and all that kind of stuff. So it just, I don't understand their logic. I don't understand. I think maybe he wants to go so he looks like one of the big boys or something like that. I don't know.
But that's insane. That's insane. And you heard something about her going on another royal tour in October?
Yeah, there's supposedly one that was going to happen around Halloween. However, now because the Columbia one was such a disaster, and one of the things that really ticked me off is that they got this somebody in Columbia say, oh, the trip only cost like $45,000 in security or something, and it was in the millions. Mm-hmm. So I don't. Yeah. And everybody's like, oh, and they're complaining because it was it wasn't $45,000. Please, just the flight alone was probably $250,000. So it's just kind of nonsense that they try and leak and get spread, and so 45,000, that's nothing. It was in the millions.
Yeah, typical North Korean style propaganda from Meg Jong-un. That pissed me off too when I saw it. I was like, they think that we're all as stupid as Harry and we will buy the BS when even one of the senators was saying, or one of the Colombian politicians was saying, just the security alone costs $2 million. That's security. I want to know how much they spend for all the accommodations. So obviously the cost of Harry and Meghan going to Colombia was far more than $2 million, in my opinion.
Yeah. and you know, the
Absolutely.
other thing
If you look at
go
the
ahead.
cost of no, go ahead.
No, the other thing that I saw this week is when, you know, Chef Jose Andres changed sides and went to the good and went over to Earthshot. But they brought up this Prince Harry quote from when he was talking about Earthshot back when he was being pranked by those Russian YouTubers he thought was Greta Thunberg. And he was like, you know, Earthshot's not that great. He goes, we need to be, you know, doing action and not just, you know, giving out things. And I was thinking, you guys just gave out a bunch of drums, you know, where's your actions and stuff? So like his words just totally came back to bite him. And it just I keep thinking that Harry's going to get smarter and he doesn't.
He just gets dumber by the day. I swear he gets dumber as his hair follicles fall out even more. So goes his brain cells, the remaining ones.
But this is the thing, Enty. I was wondering because I saw you posted a blind that Harry was meeting with a lawyer. Was it you that posted that blind, or was it you, Molly?
No, it was Enty who posted it.
Yeah, it was me. It was me.
About it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's met with lawyers. Look, you know, there was an employee that met with lawyers who handle employment litigation. So I'm anxious to see where that goes. They handle other things other than employment litigation, but that's kind of their specialty. So I feel like somebody's going to sue them, or maybe they're just finding out about NDA or whatever, but they definitely went and spoke to somebody who pretty much specializes solely in employment litigation. And then he has spoken to an attorney a couple of times. Again, I feel like the rumblings that I've heard is that they don't have a prenup.
They don't.
Yeah, they don't. Harry didn't want to sign one.
Right. But I think that he's trying to do a postnup.
Oh, good luck with that.
Good luck with Can I ask you something? Can Meghan keep all the jewelry from Princess Diana if he's gifted it to her?
Yeah, if he gifted it to her.
But he doesn't have any of Diana's jewelry.
Doesn't he? Didn't they pick any?
William made sure that Meghan did not leave the UK with any of Diana's jewelries. And I have even debunked the fact that the gold watch that she wears and claims belongs to Diana, it's not Diana's. It's a replica that Meghan bought herself. And it's also been mentioned that in Marie Claire, they once had said that that is Diana's watch, but then they had to come back and correct it, saying that the watch is a replica and not Princess Diana's. The earrings, the butterfly earrings Meghan has worn, they're also replicas. They're not Diana's. She wore that blue aquamarine divorce ring, which is a replica. It's not Diana's. Like, she has nothing of Diana's. But she does have the jewelry that, like, Charles gave her on her wedding day, like the diamond bracelet and things like that.
But what do they keep saying? You know that she went to Colombia and they kept showing what she wore. And they keep saying this is Princess Diana's watch and Princess Diana's aquamarine thing and Princess Diana's butterfly earrings.
Because she's got nothing else. It's all about connecting Meghan to Diana. She thinks that if she wears Princess Diana's jewelry and items, then, oh, all of a sudden she'll be like Princess Diana also. She's absolutely nuts. But I think there was a question for Enty about the what was it here? About the inheritance. I want him to answer that because someone is asking if I've said that Meghan cannot have access to Harry's inheritance if they do divorce. But can you elaborate on that, Enty? For I think our UK listeners aren't aware of how it works.
Sure. Like in California, inheritance is separate property. So it's not community property. You can turn some of it into community property in the sense that, let's say he used his inheritance to purchase a house. And so then, okay, well, that's separate. But then they both contribute to the property taxes, or if there's a mortgage, to the mortgage and stuff like that. So then there's portions of it that can become community property. And so let's say you bought the house for $5 million with inheritance money and you sell it for $8 million. Even though, the inheritance was separate property, the difference, you could, she would argue, oh, well, I contributed this and this and this, so I should get half of the, the sale price. But no, inheritance property is separate property. So that's why, and I've said it a million times, it's why she has to hustle so hard. It's why she needs to find something, because she has nothing to take from this. What has she done? What money has she earned? Right? So if she doesn't earn any money, she will never have a chance to do anything. She'll never be able to leave if he decides to leave. She won't have anything, and they don't have a prenup. And so what money have they earned? And so she's probably already got her half. She's probably taken his half. So there's nothing for her, which is why she needs, like, to TIG 2.0, when she tried the Netflix and she tries this. She's a try-hard, but she's not a successful try-hard.
I gotta ask you something, because this has been bothering me. There wasn't a New York Post or New York Times article she did where she said that she spends most of her time Googling for little known brands and stuff like that. What the hell happened to Ari Emanuel? Isn't he supposed to be the one Googling, getting her contracts and stuff like that? Why is she doing it? Is that contract over quietly?
No, but Ari is Ari's way too busy to do anything like that. Ari is the kind of guy who's going to, make the deal for somebody who's closing a $100 million deal, and he wants the 10% of that. She will never make $100 million deal. She will never have that. If you think about like Travis and his brother, they just got $100 million deal. Call Me Daddy or whatever, she just got $120 million deal. Meghan can't even do that. She could it blows my mind how you can fumble the bag so badly in this kind of situation.
Yeah.
It's just basically handed to you on a silver platter. And, you could go on there, but the thing is, she was trying to be all high and mighty when she's not high and mighty. If she had gone on Spotify, and instead of being this person that she is not, if she had just gone on there and done what she would normally do when she was like on the TIG or something, and just gone for the lowest common denominator, she would have already made her $100 million. Instead, she tries to do, I want to be like this and elevated, and I'm a duchess, I can't do that kind of stuff. It's ridiculous. And I can't believe how many opportunities. Just a hawk talk girl, she just got a deal that's probably worth more than Meghan is going to get. And the hawk talk girl, whatever, she made her money, her thing, talking about a sexual act, but she is this crazy, kind and nice person who just can't be corrupted by anything, who's just I wouldn't ever do OnlyFans. I'm not ever do anything like that. Who's just, it turns out to be this wonderful, kind human being. And now she's got like a $5 million deal guaranteed. Meghan can't even do that.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. That's what I can't wrap my head around, is that, are you that lazy that I don't get it. I don't get it, Enty. How do you fail so hard at everything that you are given?
It's just, and you guys have heard me probably on Royal Mats or whatever, talking about how they could have made that Polo show just A+. Like, it's actually a good idea, but they take a good idea and they just destroy it because they want to make it seem like they're just above everybody else. And, this is how the rich should, because she wants to live like that. That's why she wears all the Cartier. I'm shocked. I am literally shocked that she doesn't wear 3 or 4 love bracelets, that she can, keeps it to one. Yeah. Because because I know she wants to. I know she's got 3 or 4, and she probably wants to wear them all the time, and just like, I can't get away with that. But I know she wants to, and I know she's wearing them at home.
Yeah, she is. That is such a loser behavior. But what do you think that is? That, Molly, I was thinking about what you said, that she always fails so hard at everything. If there is one thing that really shows is why she never succeeded at anything before marrying Harry, because she really is uninteresting and not talented. I mean, we're little YouTubers, and I have never bought a bot in my life. And what the hell's going to happen to her Instagram thing, Enty?
I don't know. At this point, she has no direction. The whole thing was supposed to be timed, like the lifestyle brand was supposed to be timed with the Netflix cooking show, right? We have a completed cooking show that's garbage. And the thing is that it's such garbage that it's not even going to even have a chance, if it even gets released, until it come out middle of next year. I've seen Netflix's list of programs that they have through, I think, March or through the first quarter of next year. It's not on there. So you're looking at second quarter at the earliest. So you are going to, which is ridiculous because then it's a year after it's produced. And anyway, so you have this lifestyle brand that, she was going to have it come out later this year, but the trademark thing. And then I think, you know what? Maybe they screwed up the trademark thing on purpose. So that way it couldn't come out, that they'd have an excuse to wait until next year, because it makes no sense to have your whole line come out before the show. That's what I'm saying. This is like marketing 101 in Hollywood. You have your show and then you say, look, these are the things I used on the show. You can buy them. That's what you're supposed to do. And it's just simple, easy stuff. And they get everything wrong. I can't imagine. Look, if you, Paula or Molly, if Spotify came to you and said, here's $50 million or whatever, and just do a show, you know what you would do? You would do a show that's super popular because you'd want to get that deal renewed.
Yeah.
And you guys would just the absolute audacity of these people just to just blow everything that's been given to them. And it just crushes my soul.
Why do you think she's doing this? If she's doing this all on purpose to destroy everything, why is she doing this? Why is she burning all the bridges and every opportunity that she's getting? Hell, if Spotify offered me not even 50 million, if they were offering me $500,000, I would be on that like white on rice, like crazy. But still, like, why are they like this, Enty? Why do you think?
Somebody puts in a comment, Happy Cat 33.99, that she wants to live with like a Kardashian or whatever, and that they work all the time. And I've said that. I have my problems with the Kardashians, a lot of problems. Mom filmed the porn or whatever and got her daughter started, edited it at least. But they do everything, right? They work nonstop. They're at everything, and Kim doesn't just, hey, you want me to go back when Sears was around? You want me to sell something at Sears? Great. I'll try it. Didn't work. All right. It's okay. Next thing. And then they just find something that sticks. Okay, that stuck. Okay, everybody's doing that in the family, and we'll just try it again and try it again. And we're going to work 18, 20 hours a day to make sure that this happens, and that's what they did for a decade. And Meghan just wanted the lifestyle. And I've said this before, that she went over there thinking that she was going to live in a castle and just get all these clothes and everything, and that she could do whatever she wanted. And then she gets to Frogmore Cottage and goes, really? This is where I got to live? I had a nicer place in Toronto or whatever. Oh, you mean I got to go meet people all the time? And Mo, you did something. I think it was you posted something on Twitter about where she stayed for 5 minutes and had met everybody, was at a garden party, and then she just wanted to leave, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. No, you got to stay till the bitter end. It's a meet and greet until everybody is meeted and greeted. Yeah. But she doesn't want to do that. She just wants to be, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. Oh yes, I'm here for 5 minutes. Okay, you guys, I've got the vapors. I've got to go now. It's that kind of thing where she just wants to be admired and doesn't want to work. When has she ever worked? Right? The only time that she's ever really worked was Suits. That's the only time that she's ever really worked. And even then, she didn't have to work every single day. Tell me, deal or no deal. Great, fine. Yeah. You know how many of those they film in a day? So she has to work like 1 or 2 days a week. She never works. She has never worked. She has tried to, social climb however she can without working. And that's fine. I'm not going to, if you can get the bag like that, that's great. But you can't go into something thinking that you're not going to have to work. And she just didn't do her homework. And now she has no direction or anything because she's never had to do anything because she doesn't know how to do anything.
Mhm.
But do you think that she, somebody has been writing that this is the kind of woman, if anything, this has shown her as a person who is that entitled and who has had people do everything for her, because first it was her father who did everything for her, then her husband, and then on Suits, she had no choice but to kiss people's asses because she was not the main character, you know. She was just, you know, and she was struggling. We had Katie Hine from Daily Mail said that when she met her in 2013, after the agent begged her to meet her, she was saying how hard it was. And this is at 2013, at the height of Suits, where, you know, because now, I don't know, Auntie, have you seen her on Suits and Wikipedia? They put her as third. If you go, you have the two men, and then you have Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, and then you have the other lead characters.
Yeah, that's just a revision by IMDb. You just go watch the show. She's not third. But IMDb does that. You know, if somebody's super popular, they'll move them up the thing. Or in Wikipedia. And remember, Wikipedia, anybody can go edit it. But yeah, so here's the thing. Suits was on USA. And it has had a resurgence on Netflix because people don't have anything to watch. And so they'll watch it. And, you know, but the thing is, it was on USA. Nobody watched it. Maybe like, I'd have to go back and look, but maybe 500,000 people a week. Maybe, I mean, for USA, that was pretty good. But 500,000 people a week. It's less than a Real Housewives episode.
Yeah.
And so if you are fifth, let's say you third build, let's make you third build on a show that gets 500,000 people a week. That's not very good. You know, she was probably making 20 grand a week, something like that. So, you know, 20 grand a week, and I'm being generous.
Yeah.
So, you know, 20 episodes, 25 episodes, $500,000, $600,000 a year, minus your agent, minus taxes from 2 countries, because you're in Canada too. And she still has to pay American taxes. So how much is she making? $200,000 or $300,000. And then she tries to live this lifestyle so how is she going to do that? So she needs to find a rich guy. And like you said, Katie Hine. And I mean, she made it very clear that she wanted to be with somebody rich. And I think that she thought Harry was rich. Oh, it can't get any better than the royal family. Look how rich they are. Yeah, they make a lot of money, but they don't spend it. They really don't. And because they can't do that, because then everybody in England will say, get rid of the monarchy. And because you're just spending all the money. And she would have been better off going after a billionaire, just some old billionaire or whatever in his 50s or whatever, and her 60s. And she could have acted her way into that. And that would have been better for her. But instead, you know, she went for what she thought. And now she's stuck. And like I said earlier, because there's all his money's inheritance, she can't leave. Right. So she has to try to do something where she can make a ton of money, and you can do it, but it takes a lot of hard work. It takes a long time, and it takes 18-hour days. And she doesn't want that. She just wants to go to places like Colombia and Nigeria and just be fawned over and made to feel like she's the most important person in the world when she's not.
But I don't think a billionaire, a self-made billionaire, would ever end up with the likes of Rachel, Meghan Markle. First of all, they would go for really good-looking women. I mean, Meghan was an average-looking woman for California. She clearly is not that interesting. You know, she clearly is not that smart. So
well,
I mean,
Harry. She conned Harry.
I mean, that's not a stretch. I always said that Harry is the British Forrest Gump. I mean, I swear to God, you know, like she played to his insecurities and to all his resentments. I really do believe she played to his resentments. I mean, what do you think, Molly?
I think she found a man who is perfect for her and on her level. When you really think about it, Harry and Meghan are made for each other. They're both entitled. They were both spoiled as children. So clearly they think that they are always right. They are totally 2 of the same idiots, basically. And that's the one dangerous thing that I've always said, is that there's nothing more dangerous than 2 dumbasses who think that they are smart. And that's those 2.
And have access to a huge platform so we can all see how stupid they are.
Yeah. I mean, they are basically their own goal all the time, shooting their own goals. They're showing us just the type of people that they are. Meghan likes to call herself a humanitarian and philanthropist. You go to Colombia, where people make no more than $350 a month, and you're flaunting over $120,000 worth of jewelry in their faces, and you brought what? Drums? You call yourself a humanitarian? You call yourself a philanthropist?
Yeah,
It's
my poor friend had gone from Medellin to Cartagena that weekend, not to see Meghan or Harry, but because she had a friend and they, they were going to go and hang out, right? She said it reminded her of a war zone. They had everything, most major roads closed. There was military everywhere. So that BS that Francia Marquez is saying, that's, it's only $70,000 the entire thing. That's bullshit. If you have
Didn't they have a flood right after, the day after Meghan and Harry left? They had a massive flood in that area.
Yep.
And what have Harry and Meghan done to help them out?
Nothing.
Have they sent any resources after spending their money, the
They
taxpayers?
sent the drums so they can drum for help. I mean, Enty, I wanted to ask you something. I mean, what do you think of this latest quitting? What do you have any intel on the chief of staff? I love those really pompous titles, chief of staff, and the latest quitting, the female woman that was with them for since 2020. Do you have anything like that on them?
I just don't think that they can afford them. I think that that's what it is. I think that because, again, unless they get favors, like unless they get private jet rides and stuff, Harry can't afford that kind of stuff. And when Meghan went to New York to like the Hamptons or whatever, and just the expense just on the jet, because how come you can't fly commercial? I don't understand it. But they don't have money. So, if you think about somebody who's coming in, that the ones that they're going after, these people are used to making like $500,000-$600,000 a year, plus like perks and stuff like that. They don't have that kind of money to write them those checks. So what they do is they turn more and more and more over to basically glorified interns and just say, oh, well, sorry, we're not going to renew your contract or whatever. We wish you the best. And I don't think that they have the money. They have too much staff because Meghan likes to feel important. I can't even imagine how much household staff they have and everything. It just, there must be so much money going out and none coming in. And it wouldn't be surprised. And I know that, MeghansMole, you got ideas on things about Harry and stuff going back to the UK. How about this one? How about he goes back? Because remember, he used to get a check from dad every year, right? Yeah. A big check, like what, $4 or $5 million a year?
£4.5 million.
£4.5 million. Thanks.
That's about $7 million.
Yeah. And so all of a sudden he's going, you know what? We could use that money. So maybe if I can kind of repair the relationship, I can start getting that check again.
I don't know if you heard, but I almost feel like he's trying to pull like a Trojan horse. Like he's going to try and work himself into the family, say that him and Meghan are on the rocks, and then kind of work his way back in, because he knows he can work his father. He knows his father is a softie. He knows he can take advantage of that. And then he'll work his way in and then all of a sudden bring Meghan back into the fold. That's what I think is going to happen. Like those two should never be trusted ever again. After everything Harry said, if I had publicly told the world that I wanted to take out the king with a Typhoon fighter jet, but spared him at the last moment, I would have been like thrown in jail. I would have had a knock on my door or something.
Yeah, I think there's some ulterior motive, and I couldn't figure out why he didn't go to the wedding rather than the funeral. Because the wedding is, somebody who's really, really close friends with and everything. And okay, so go to a funeral and, it's a different kind of, vibe and stuff, but it wouldn't shock me because you got to think about how much money they are spending and they are not having any money coming in. And it's just like any kid going to their parent and saying, hey, could you loan me some money? Because he has used to been getting, when you go from getting $5 million a year, $5 million a year, $5 million a year, and all of a sudden you get 0, 0, 0. But you got some, from Spotify, you got some from Netflix back in the day. And I think it's also why they never give money to anybody. They used to write checks. They used to write checks to Jose Andres, right? I think they gave him like $200,000 or $300,000 or something at one point through Archewell. They don't have any money to give. It's all gone. And so then he goes and he says, Dad, I could use some money. Could you start writing me the checks again? And because nothing's happening. And Meghan's probably like, you need to go over there and you need to get us some money because I've got things to buy.
I got wigs to buy. I got wigs to buy here. I feel like Harry, in my opinion, because he wasn't supposed to go to the funeral at all. And he only showed up at the very last minute. People were surprised that he even showed up. I think that one of the Spencers, like Charles Spencer, leaked to Harry that William was going to be attending, which caused the mad dash, because I feel like Charles Spencer knows that Harry is a dimwit, and basically he can take advantage of Harry and manipulate him against the Windsors and the royal family, because Charles Spencer has his own problems too. So it's like two idiots banding together to go after the royal family. And I feel like Charles is feeding Harry BS about Diana too, to manipulate him.
Yeah. And I did once say that Meghan threw herself at the Duke of Westminster. And I stand by that. For sure.
She did.
Whom hasn't she thrown herself against? That's that'll be a shorter list.
That hussy just throwing that thing everywhere, slanging it all over town, huh?
Listen to even City's shocked.
I mean, this is okay. Look, going back to the billionaire thing, I think that's why she Ohanian or whatever. I think that's why she's like, hey, look, can you see my dress here? Because she wants.
You mean that? Oh my God!
She wants the billionaire, And I guarantee you this: that if Serena and him get divorced, and judging by the way that Serena, fawns over Grigor Dimitrov, it's a possibility. So let's say that they get divorced. You don't think that Meghan is just going to violate everything in the girl code and just go straight after, Alexis Ohanian? 100%. She's just going to be like, oh, I've got this idea, and I know that Reddit or your foundation or all of the things that he's got going on. I just know that, and she's got it in, right? Because she already knows him.
Yeah. No, you're totally right about that. I could see that happening. I could see Meghan going to him and being like, you need to get rid of the Saint Meghan Markle group on Reddit that are harassing me, and accidentally trip and fall and land on his Todger while speaking to him. I can see that happening.
But Meghan Markle is no longer attractive. She's I mean, these people who are billionaires, they have access to real ass, if you know what I mean.
I know, but she will, she knows him though. And so she probably knows the things that he likes and doesn't. And, she's not the greatest actress in the world, but she's a good enough actress to pull off the fact that, she can pretend that she likes him. But
don't you find that, I can hear you, Molly. Don't you find that? That's okay. What are you Googling? Put it up here. But don't you find that people like that already, given everything that's happening out in the public domain, that everybody is switched onto her right now, Enty? Like, all you have to see is all the stupidity. I mean, how stupid the thing I've always said is that they do everything with such fanfare, right? And so public. The American Riviera Orchard, that's 15 seconds of very grainy video. And now it's very public that she's stupid because she couldn't even fill out proper things, right?
Yeah, she just, again, this is, I think, a thing of having not enough money. And so you hire, let's say she did hire a lawyer, but she's hiring a lawyer that's cheaper because she can't afford a bigger lawyer. Or they're just like, we can do this ourselves. So we've got these interns here. Let's just have them do it. And, and because they're just trying to save as much money as possible. I'm telling you, they don't have a ton of cash. They rely on people to give them stuff and favors, and that's another one of the reasons, like, to go to the Hamptons or whatever. It's kind of like that person who's just like, okay, I'm gonna go hobnob with the rich people and maybe I can get somebody to bite on being an investor or whatever. They're always chasing the dollar. It's like most of the Real Housewives, right? They don't have any money. And I mean, there's some that do, obviously. But a lot of them don't. But they live this lifestyle and they pretend that they have this kind of money. And I'm trying to remember, I think it's very common in Hollywood to try and look obviously rich, right? Oh, I have a Lamborghini. Oh, that's great. Where do you live? Well, I got 6 roommates and we live in, a 2-bedroom apartment. And it's the same kind of thing. And, you can go on TikTok and you can see, these people that are renting these mansions for $200 an hour and saying, oh, welcome to my house. Or you can rent a Lamborghini for a couple $100 an hour. Yeah. Or, you can go, rent a private jet for $200 just that sits on the ground. And, you can go pose. You can buy bags and stuff on Etsy. You can buy old Chanel bags and Vuitton and Hermes and stuff. And then you just go film yourself out on Rodeo Drive and have your friend filming you coming out of the Hermes store while you'll have a whole bunch of Hermes bags. It's all for show. And Meghan's good at that. But at some point it catches up to you. And I'm telling you that they don't have a ton of money and she needs to find some.
I should let you know, Enty, that there are businesses now where you can rent high-end luxury bags now online. Like you can rent them. Yeah, you can rent them for like a week or a month. You just pay and then you have to send it back. And if you there's no damages, they deduct you, like things like that. But yeah, you can rent high-end bags now online too. So yeah, you can fake it all. You can completely fake it all.
Yeah.
You know what I think it is with her and thing why she's not succeeding at anything is because she's not willing to do the dirty work, because she really does think she's better than everybody. So she sees it working as something beneath her. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just she needs, and the thing is, again, regardless of whether or not the cooking show is good or not, and it's not, she got the opportunity to do it, right? Think about how many people never even get that chance. The Polo show, like I said, it could have been good, but they got the opportunity. They got the opportunity to film 2 shows and they still couldn't do it. And it's because I think that they thought their ideas were better than everybody else's. And it's just like, no, I need to do this, I know what sells because I was on Suits. It's the same kind of thing. I'm not gonna remember her name, but Steve Mnuchin, who used to be the the Secretary of the Treasury, his wife, she, obviously he gave her a bunch of money and stuff, and she's tried to make movies and everything. She goes, oh, I can make movies because I'm an actress. And everybody comes to Hollywood and they go, I've got some, money and it's easy to make a movie. It's easy to do. It's not easy. I mean, it's easy to make a movie. It's hard to make it good. And I'm so tired of Meghan and all these opportunities that so many other people could have been given. And it's just really, really frustrating to me because how many people would die to have like a Netflix show or 2 of them or a Spotify deal and have one of the greatest agents of all time be your agent, and you still can't get anything right.
But is that up to the agent that sucks? Because I'm surprised Ari Emanuel, has his client Googling obscure brands rather than say, here's Dior. Go screw this one up.
Yeah, but Dior doesn't want her.
Oh, my God.
That's the thing. Like, they tried to sell us that at the beginning when he first signed her. It's like, they kind of, tried to make it a fait accompli, right? Oh, she's going to be the new face of Dior. And I was like, damn, Ari, you did that in one day? But it was just to basically try and get Dior to bite. But Dior didn't bite. And Dior said, is not really our thing.
Thanks, but no thanks.
She's really not classy. She's not beautiful. There's nothing nice about this woman. You know, she cheapens all the clothes that she gets. She is truly skanky. Her skank power is to the maximum, I think, because, you know, no matter how expensive the clothes she wears, she always cheapens them. And what do you make of this cesta thing? What do you guys make of this cesta thing?
She's exploiting Black women.
100%. 100%. You know what someone found on that St. Meghan Markle Reddit community? If you go onto Etsy and if you search up any of the names of the Rwandan women who are weaving these bags for them for cesta, if you go onto Etsy and you search their names, some of these women are selling the bags online on Etsy. The same exact bag that is being sold on the cesta website, you can find on Etsy for $38, the exact same one. And you can buy it directly from the woman that is, or the person that is making the bag, and that money goes directly to them.
To the ladies in Rwanda?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so these ladies in Rwanda already have a site and stuff, and they're putting it out there. And
I don't know who is making the sites for them, but if you go onto Etsy, some of them, and like search some of their names come up, and you can find the bags there for the fraction, like for $38 versus $970 that they're selling on their website. I'll send you a screenshot, Paula, on WhatsApp.
Yeah, send it here so you can put it here, and I can. Yeah. If you post it up, I'll show it. That's such a ripoff, you know, because these ladies get paid like 74 cents a day.
Yeah, and these white women think that they're just doing something special because they're like, oh, we're paying them 40 times more. Oh, great, you're paying them $1 as opposed to 70 cents. Whoop-de-freaking do. Like, even the photos are terrible. I think you saw, like, I posted a photo this morning. It's in my reply section, Paula. It was to Jackass Royston. And you will see, like, their PR photos are the two white women founders sitting on a bench while these Rwandan women are sitting on the grass looking up at them. Like, it is so bad. And it's the same nonsense that I expect Meghan Markle to pull too. Like that kind of vision.
Yeah, I've seen that photo. It's
Paula's gonna
I haven't seen it. I'm on your replies thing. Where is that?
Scroll down a bit and you'll see it. Scroll down.
Who's that? Prince William is looking mighty fun.
He's looking mighty bulgy, let's be honest. Pardon me.
Is that the one?
There's the picture right there.
Oh, this is horrible. I hadn't seen it.
Like, and they posted this like in a magazine. They used it in their photo shoot for their magazine article that they were talking. And even the article was just so cringe. Like, you guys are dumb.
And they're sitting higher than the women. That's higher status.
Like, why not get a bench for the women to sit on? Why do they need to sit below you and look up at you? And then there's another one, I'll send it. And the lady with the blonde hair literally has her entire weave sitting on one of the lady's shoulders. It's like, bitch, get your hair out of here. Like, go away.
Yeah, wow. And what do you think, Enty, she's gonna do now? Because I haven't heard anything of Lemonada. I have heard nada on Lemonada.
Lemonada is being sold? Sorry, this came out in, sorry, Enty, and sorry, Paula, for jumping in. But apparently we all missed this because it slipped through the cracks. But Lemonada is looking for a buyer. And this was back in July. So we all missed it. They did this quietly. This is why Meghan Markle claimed that nothing would be coming out till next year. But in July of 2024, it was quietly announced that Lemonada is looking for a buyer.
Why is that?
They're not, huge. And look, I never subscribed to Lemonada. Mm-hmm. I never went to their website really. And then all of a sudden, we start talking about it. And all of a sudden I get emails from Lemonada and I'm just like, okay, stop. It's never that big of a studio to begin with. And it doesn't shock me that they're looking for a buyer. This is probably peak Lemonada. But she wasn't going to do anything because they're not going to provide her with anything. That's what I'm saying. The opportunities that she has thrown away is that Limonada would be if you, Paula, or you, Molly, or me, and we did a podcast or whatever, just it'd basically be on our own. We probably would have a producer and an editor, right? But you're still going to have to write it yourself unless you're wealthy enough to have somebody write it. But at Spotify, it was a whole team, and they blew that. They just totally just blew the opportunity. And Limonada is more of a do-it-yourself kind of thing, and they're not going to do a do-it-yourself thing.
Yeah, but she had like 28 producers at one time for that thing, and one of the producers spoke out and said, "What is she doing?" And I was one of the producers. It wasn't her.
Even some of the interviewees were saying that Meghan didn't even interview us. It was someone else that did it, and then they just spliced her voice in and her parts in.
That's crazy. I mean, think about this. If you guys had somebody write an entire episode for you, all you have to do is come in and read it. How easy is that? This is like, I spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours a day writing, right? And if somebody was just writing it, oh my God, that'd be so easy. Or, I love when you're on, Paula. I love when you're on, Molly, because then I don't really have to do as much work, right? It's much easier. We just talk, and it's super easy. So all Meghan had to do was just show up in the studio and talk to somebody for 40 minutes.
Enty, it was also said that Spotify built her a studio in her home.
Right.
So that she could record from home too. And she still couldn't produce. Because
I think she, especially back then, she thought it was beneath her, right? She thought, this is, I'm a duchess and stuff. I'm not doing this. And then she probably was just like, well, we should talk about world issues and things that matter. But you can tell that she doesn't care about any of those at all. She she doesn't care. She doesn't. She just wants the attention. And if she cared, she would go live in Colombia for a year. If she cared, she would go to Rwanda and go learn how to make the bags and see the production, say, you know what? I think the Sesta people, they're really taking advantage of you. So what we should do is I want to partner with you, and I'm going to pay you a fair living wage. Isn't that what she talked about? Like, it's got to be an equal wage and all this kind of stuff. Right now, you're not making the equal wage to the white women, but I'm going to help you.
She's paying her white women less. The women that work for her Archwell company are paid less than the men in her Archwell company.
Exactly.
None of them are black, are they? Oh, they're all white.
They're all white.
Where's the diversity on that? And who are these women on the screen? These are the women that are making the bags, right?
Yeah. This is the other photo I was talking to you about. Like, this is like what exploitation looks like.
That's incredible.
I just want to know why she's got her weave all over that poor woman's arm like that. Like, I expect that from Meghan. I think Meghan is going to try and steal that woman's act and pretend to be like her. Why is your blonde wig like that all over that woman's arm? I'm sorry, that annoys me.
But honestly, look, don't you think if Meghan was actually like concerned, like if she really, there's ways for her. Like, she could have taken this Rwanda idea, gone around Sesta, right? And just gone to Rwanda with Harry, because Harry's got the big Africa thing, right? That's his history and stuff. And they've been to Nigeria and stuff. So you go to Rwanda and you go meet. These are not the only women that make the bags. There are probably many, many women that make the bags. And you go and you meet with them and go, look, that one company is only paying you $1 an hour or $1 a day or whatever, $1 a bag. I'm going to pay you $20 a bag. $25 a bag. And then, because I know that I can still sell them for $200 or $300, right? I'm going to make sure that you have lived the greatest life that you guys can live. And at the same time, then she can sell them, and say, look, here, go. I'm going to give you the records. Look how much I'm paying them. I'm paying them 10 times the national wage. I'm paying them 20 times the national wage that they would normally get. I'm paying them way more than Sesta was paying. And then all of a sudden you go, wow, okay, she's doing that and she's making money. I can get behind that and I'll buy it. She just does everything the wrong way. She completely screws everything up. I don't know who's advising her. And maybe that's the thing. maybe that's another reason why these people keep leaving, because they're giving her good ideas and she's like, nah, and so they leave.
But I have to ask you something. What do you think is going to happen? For example, if the Netflix thing doesn't take off, clearly the Limonada thing is going to shit. American Orchard is a no-go. I don't think that cooking show will ever see the light of day. They clearly despise each other. And I mean Harry and Meghan, given their body language. And what do you think is going to happen? Because clearly the love is gone.
It's gone, which is why she has to make the money. It's why she's desperate. And also think about what financial strain does to couples, right? Things are great, you know, if you're billionaires and stuff like that, and they still get divorced. But think about, oh, you know, we got 2 jobs, 3 jobs, we got to work or whatever. Financial strain and pressure. We just, you know, there was the one guy who recently unalived himself, right? And they were pretending to basically be rich. And she's an influencer and stuff. And the financial pressure got to be too much. He was trying to borrow money from everywhere, and he basically, you know, unalived himself. And the financial pressure, and just I can't imagine what it's like. That's why I'm warming to my own theory that Harry went back to ask money from dad, and or family members or whatever, just get me through until next year because we got some things coming in the pipeline, you know, kind of thing. Because and the sad thing is that Harry doesn't have to pay taxes or anything like that.
He doesn't?
I was going to ask you about that, how he skirts around that, because he is getting paid through Better Up. He is getting paid through the Aspen Institute. So how is he not he's been in America for over 4 years.
But if he's on an A visa, then you don't have to pay.
But what about Meghan too?
Meghan has to pay, I think. Because here's the thing. I've tried to, because he doesn't. It's really weird because she is a U.S. citizen or whatever, but she's married to a visa holder. I'm not sure. I don't have enough of diplomatic experience or whatever. I know that he doesn't have to, but I don't know if she can, you know. But she's a U.S. citizen, so she's not here on a visa, so she's married. It's really weird.
I can give an opinion on that. If you're a citizen of a country, this is why you can never be a diplomat in your own country, because you're not entitled to have an immunity. And I know that's an issue because my ex-husband, for example, I was a diplomat. I can't be a diplomat in 3 countries because being a diplomat means you're immune to prosecution and certain things. But this is the thing that people don't understand. When you go as a diplomat, for example, let's say I'm Canadian and Canada sends me abroad, right, to represent Canada. I still have to pay my taxes in Canada. I don't pay taxes. My advantages is when I go, for example, to Belgium, when I was in Belgium. I don't pay taxes in cars or anything that I buy. They give you a card that you show at the stores and you're exempt from that, right? But you still pay your taxes because you're employed by the government. So you do pay your taxes back home, but you're exempt from paying taxes. Or if you buy, if you buy a car, which is what a lot of diplomats did, because you were posted for 2 years, right? Most of the time, the cycle is 2 years. So you buy your car there because you don't pay taxes on that car. And because you're there you own the car for more than 6 months, when you bring it back into your country, your home country, you don't pay any taxes bringing it in. You know, so that's the advantages. And it's mostly for crime, but of course they encourage you not to commit any crimes or get speeding tickets, you know, stuff like that. But Meghan can never be a diplomat in her own home country, which is the United States. She does not enjoy immunity.
Enty, was it you who had spilled some gossip about Harry and Meghan trying to apply for their home base to be an embassy or regarded as an embassy, so they don't have to pay taxes, so Meghan can get like the special government plates and things like that? Was it you?
It wasn't me, but it wouldn't shock me that if they tried to make their house a consulate. But
consulate. Sorry, consulate. Yeah. That's what it was. Not embassy.
Like a consulate.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is then, you know, a consulate, I guess, so, you know, when you have like an embassy, right? And so then they have an ambassador's residence, and then you'll have consul generals around. So like England's got a consul general in LA. Yeah. And because I remember when when William came over, and I remember the helicopters were right by where I was working, and the consul general's house was right over by my office. And so it was really crazy over there. So then, you know, they have a residence that they live at. But then, so what would, if Harry's on an A1 and they called it a consul, like his house or whatever, and it would, you know, so they wouldn't have to pay property taxes on it. But that's the only really exemption that they would have. I guess, yeah, you'd be entitled to diplomatic plates. But I mean, that really only really helps you like in Washington, D.C. and New York. So then you can park wherever you want to and not get a ticket. You know, where it doesn't have any, you know, advantages at all in, you know, outside of like big cities where you want to really take advantage of being able to park wherever you want.
It might not have advantages, but for Meghan, it's all about the image, right? Just to have those special plates.
But, yeah, if she has the special plates, though, then everybody's going to know where she is. That violates her whole security principle, right?
So the thing is, so with the A1 visa, you can Harry wouldn't be able to work for Netflix or anything like that unless the government is violating the agreement with A1 visa, because A1 visa is very strict. A1 visa is only, you can only be in the country in the United States at least, and you can look it up. I did a whole video about this. You can look it up at the State Department. You know, it says that they can only be on that A1 visa is for representing the government. They can't engage in any commercial things, and they can't own a home in the country that they're visiting. You can't own it while you're working there, while you're on that A1 visa. If after your work is up or your A1 visa is expired, you want to go back to that country, you want to buy a property in your name, that's absolutely fine. But not while you're in an A1 visa or a diplomat. I know because and it's there in the department. We've done that. I mean, I used to own a home in one of the places that I went because I liked it. But while we were there, we're not allowed to buy it when we were as diplomats, because you have to pay taxes. So you know what I mean? You're not exempt from paying those taxes. And Harry wouldn't be able to work. But I wonder if this is why the Biden government doesn't want to release the records, because if Harry is in an A1 visa, then the United States and Harry and the United Kingdom are violating the terms of what an A1 visa is.
Unless it's like set up through some kind of UK based, you know, corporation or something like that, then maybe, you know, they've come up with some workaround. But, you know, thinking about what you just said, Paula, about the records, think about how long we've been waiting for these visa records. And didn't a judge order that he wanted to see all the visa records and that the government had to turn them over to him? He didn't say that he was going to turn them over to the public or make them public, but that he was going to look at them. And I don't recall that he's ever looked at them. Like, they never given them to the judge.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Did he get them at all?
There was an update and it's been sealed. There was a motion, there was something filed on Harry's team, and it's been sealed to the public. So we have no idea what's going on. But
that order is just that order that the judge issued, maybe to see, maybe for the people from Heritage Foundation to see something. We don't know, because we don't know what that order meant. For example, I'm showing you right now, this is directly from the government thing, okay? Diplomats and other foreign government officials.
Hold on, before you go into that, I want to ask Enty something, because this question, I feel like it's important. So this individual in the chat, Enty, is asking that if Harry is on an A1 visa, would that protect his assets in case of a divorce? And if that somehow disallows the divorce to be filed in California and must be filed in the UK.
Well, his assets are going to be protected anyway, because he hasn't earned any money, right? I mean, if he has, it's probably all been spent. I'm convinced that most of his wealth is just inheritance stuff. And, you know, if he gets the check from, you know, the Queen Mother or whatever, you know, it's still inheritance. If he gets a check from his, you know, deceased grandmother, it's inheritance.
Can I don't understand, because they're saying Harry's going to get this money from the Queen Mother, right?
Right.
The Queen Mother died broke and in debt. Yeah. I remember Queen Elizabeth had to pay off a lot of her debts for her after she passed.
An overdraft.
So what is, like, am I stupid here, like, wondering what money is is Harry supposed to be getting from the Queen Mother?
I
Am
have
I
no idea.
dumb for thinking
I have no
this?
idea.
Like, she died broke. Like, she had no money. So
Yeah,
I'm
the
kind of
Queen had to pay her £4 million overdraft.
yeah.
The Queen had to pay it. She for the Coots Bank. She had to pay the £4 million overdraft that the Queen left. I don't understand why people are saying. I think that's Meghan Markle putting it out because she wants to make herself sound richer than it is. And they just wanted to answer this for you. You know, to qualify for an A1 or A2 visa, you must be traveling to the United States on behalf of your national government to engage solely in official activities for that government. The specific duties or services that will be performed must be governmental in character or nature, as determined by the U.S. Department of State in accordance with the U.S. immigration laws. Government officials traveling to the United States to perform non-governmental
wait.
functions.
Well, look, you just said the thing right there, as determined by the U.S. Department of State.
Yeah. So it can be different for Harry since
Yeah.
it's determined by
Hey,
the
we
US
determined that it's, you know, that
Yeah.
so as determined by the U.S. Department of State.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then if you look at it, government officials traveling to the United States to perform non-governmental functions of a commercial nature or traveling as tourists require the appropriate visas and do not qualify for a visa.
Girl, look, Enty called it a long time ago. He said, clearly the US government is protecting Harry in some way, because if something happened to Harry on US soil, it would be horrible for relations. It would be really bad, right, Enty? Like, you said that.
Yeah,
So
I mean, they get protection and everything because nothing's going to happen to them. And look, there's all kinds of deals that are made, and the State Department can say, this is fine, but then they could say, you know what you need to do is we can pass this, is do this or do this or do this or do this, and they go, okay, we'll do that. So, yeah. It is interesting because everybody assumes that he's getting this money from the Queen Mother, but like have you guys pointed out, I guess she had no money.
Yeah, these are all the articles here. You have that the Queen Mom died owing millions. Britain's beloved Queen Mom overspent her income while she was alive and left millions of pounds in debts at her death. A lot of people are saying that she set up trust funds, but she didn't. She didn't. And in order to circumvent not paying taxes, because, you know, only the sovereign doesn't pay taxes, then what they do is they leave all the money to the sovereign.
So somebody's saying in the comments that they have personal estate and that the Queen Mother had a large personal estate and is now sold, and that's the inheritance shared with the grandkids.
Well, there would be record of that, right? We'd be able to find record of that if that was actually.
Plus, she passed so long ago.
Yeah, this was a long time ago. The Queen Mother.
Hey, you guys, I got to bug out.
Okay.
But I appreciate both of you very much.
We have to get going too. We have to get going, and I'll send you the link, guys, to both of you, because I'm here
for answering all our questions. Thank you.
Of course. And I will talk to you guys very, very
soon. Notice we behave because you're here. Because this would have been really rowdy. But just before you go, so do you how long do you think it'll be before they get divorced?
As soon as she makes her first 50 million.
Oh, good luck.
or Serena gets divorced and she thinks she can get Alexis. Then
that's gonna be forever. Thank you for being here.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Well, guys, I hope you watched it. Thanks for being here. Thanks to MeghansMole. Thanks to Enty Lawyer. I thought I'd give you this little surprise. We missed Andrew. I don't know where he is. He's probably at a gym pumping iron because I haven't even seen him in the comments, but we did send him the link. So thank you to Mr. Enty Lawyer and to my always wonderful friend MeghansMole for always being here. And I hope you enjoyed it, guys, and I hope you come here and you go to her channel, click like, go to Enty Lawyer's website. Is called Crazy Days and Nights because he's posting a lot of stuff now, thankfully, because he wasn't posting for a while. But go to Crazy Days and Nights. I'm going to leave the links in the video description and the Patreon. So do support us by clicking like, watching, and of course sharing and commenting. Thanks very much, guys, for being here. Thanks for all who watch, and have a wonderful, wonderful, I think it's Thursday today. Okay, guys? Bye-bye. City.